Hey guys, welcome back to our another segment of Armchair. I know this setup is much different. We are currently at home because there is an ice storm, or was an ice storm. The roads are iced. We had to leave school early and all that. So, but it's pre-recorded. So,
Mhm.
and our next segment will also be at home. So, yeah, I'm gonna do this one today. I'm gonna be talking about Robert the doll, who is one of the pretty infamous haunted dolls. Um, Robert the doll is currently held at I keep forgetting the name, East Martell Museum, which is in Key West, Florida. So this website is
Oh, we got a Florida story.
yeah. So this story is actually the article from the Key West. It's called Ghosts and Gravestones of Key West. Okay, so I'm just gonna go into the backstory of Robert the doll and just kind of the history of him. So he dates back all the way to the early 1900s when a young boy named Eugene Robert Otto, nicknamed Gene, was given this doll by a servant that worked for his parents in his home. As soon as he got the doll, he became quickly attached to it and he took it everywhere with him. Eugene lived in what was called an artist house, which was located at 534 Eaton Street and was built between 1890 and 1898. It was where Eugene was given Robert the doll and where their friendship had lasted. But while he seemed like an ordinary doll, it wasn't long before Robert was involved in strange and some terrifying events. The first hint is that something out of the ordinary was happening when Jean, who was only 10 years old at the time, awoke. I don't like this part. Awoke to Robert the doll sitting at the end of his bed staring at him. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. I don't like that.
I don't like that either.
I also was never a stuffed animals kid, so that even freaks me out even more.
Oh, I was definitely a stuffed animals kid. I would hate to have been woken up to a doll sitting at the end of my bed, though.
Yeah. But then moments later, he was obviously screaming, and his mother woke up. Um, his mother woke up, and the sounds of furniture being overturned in her son's bedroom. Jean had cried for help, begging his mom to rescue him. When she finally was able to wrench the locked door open, and she saw Jean curled up in fear on his bed in his room, and Robert the doll was still sitting at the end of his bed. Well, Jean was having this breakdown. And then one quote, it's a very short quote, Robert did it. It were the only words Jean could get out. The same words he would use many, many times throughout his childhood when something strange, mysterious would happen in their house or just anything around him. Just blame it on Robert. So the next question is, did Robert really do it? Nobody knows for sure why or how this child's doll could actually wreak havoc on a child's bedroom or do anything like this at all. But it was just a toy, right? But the weird and inexplicable events didn't stop them after the first time. Jean's parents would often hear their son upstairs talking to the doll and getting a response back in a totally different voice. I feel like it was maybe the kid was making up a voice because you know kids make up voices sometimes.
Maybe, but also still, I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, they said they reported the doll. They said they reported seeing the doll speak and witnessing his expression change, giggling, and sightings of Robert running up the steps or staring out of the upstairs window were also reported.
These doll stories. Why?
This is the one that freaks me out the most. Even looking at him, I'm like,
Yeah.
this reminded me
Wait, let me
huh?
pull up a photo of him.
I mean, he's not that creepy, but when you hear about what he did and then looking at him, it's obviously not as creepy as Annabelle or something like that, but you just
Oh, wow.
yeah.
I mean, that is pretty creepy.
Most people
What
have
year?
seen Robert the Doll, but if you haven't, search up
What
Robert the Doll.
what year is this?
It's early 1900s.
That makes sense. Are you gonna put a picture here?
Yeah. But yeah, so they reported all that creepy stuff, and Robert continued to live with Jean throughout his lifetime, and after Jean's parents even died, he moved back into their home with his wife Anne. Jean decided that the doll needed a room of his own and placed him in the upstairs room that had a window overlooking the street. His wife Anne felt uneasy with Robert in the house. I mean, I would too.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, so you're giving this doll his own room?
Like a son.
Yeah. She couldn't put her finger on it, like what fell off, but she wanted Jean to lock up the doll in the attic where he could do no harm. Jean conceded, and as one could imagine, Robert the doll wasn't happy with his new situation. Um, visitors to the home heard footsteps in the attic, sounds of someone pacing back and forth, and like an evil kind of devilish laughing and giggling.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm.
And some of the neighborhood children reported seeing Robert watching them from their window in the upstairs bedroom, and the doll actually mocking them as they walked to school.
Okay, this is by far the creepiest one. I don't care what you have next or I have next. This is the creepiest doll story ever.
Yeah. Oh hell, oh heck no. I said hail, Hail.
Mhm.
But to his next complete shock, when Jean opened the door, there was Robert sitting in the rocking chair by the window. Jean locked Robert back up in the attic several times, each time discovering him again sitting by the window in the same upstairs bedroom.
No, 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 no. This is gonna make me cry. This is actually scary. Like, this is terrifying.
I remember
Um,
the other day I was like searching up story. No, right before this actually, I was like going over the article again, kind of talking out loud, and then the dishwasher made a sound, and I like my heart like stopped.
no, I'm not genuinely scared by any of the cases that we've done, but this one is genuinely terrifying. I can't.
Also, my
Mm-mm.
cat makes sounds sometimes. If you hear some sound, it's probably my cat or my mom. So, because my cat was making sounds, and I was like, but good thing Robert is locked up. um,
Well, he's escaped many times. He's like the doll version of Harry Houdini.
True. So back to Gene Otto. So in 1974, he died, and a new owner moved into the house on Eaton Street.
Mhm.
And then they had a 10-year-old daughter who was delighted to find Robert the doll in the attic.
She just doesn't know the history yet. She'll learn.
Yeah, she's like, "Oh, a doll," but it says her delight ended soon.
Yeah, yeah.
When she claimed that Robert was alive and wanted to hurt her. Mm-mm. Sorry, I heard a sound, but it was just my dishwasher. I'm getting too scared about this.
This is because it's really scary.
she she often like woke up in the middle of the night screaming in fear and told her parents that had Robert had moved around her room. And it wasn't long before Robert the doll was given away, and obviously he's in East Martello Fort where visitors from all over the world come to see him. I'm not gonna be one of those visitors.
Mm-mm. No, no. I feel like if I get in within 50 miles of that doll, I will be cursed for life. There's no escaping the doll.
I didn't know all this. Like, I obviously knew that like someone had owned him and he was haunted, like he did some scary things, but I didn't know all that entailed. And like even whenever I see like I remember on TikTok, kind of off topic, when the whole thing about Annabelle, like how she like people were joking about how she escaped and stuff, people were making jokes and they're like, "Oh, I hate Rob the doll," and people in the comments were like, "Don't say that, he's gonna come after you, like it's serious." And I was like, "Hey guys, don't make jokes about Rob the doll."
I never heard of Robert the doll before now, and now I really wish
Creepy
I
ones
did.
besides like Annabelle and stuff like that.
Yeah, now I really wish I didn't know who Robert the doll was because that's absolutely terrifying. Mm-mm.
So it leads to the big question: is Robert really possessed? Many believe that the origin of Robert's evil lies in the one who originally gave him to Jean Otto, who was the servant that worked for Jean's parents. This woman was supposedly mistreated by her bosses, and to punish them, it is believed that she cursed the doll with voodoo and black magic. So people think like she was just trying to get revenge.
Mhm.
And so that might explain the many mysterious and frightening experiences people have had with Robert the doll, but if so, wouldn't the haunting end when the owners died? But no one really knows for sure. Maybe it's like a legacy thing since like Jean's daughter had lived there. I think it was Jean's daughter. Um, I don't know. But oh no, the next line. But one
Okay.
thing that remains constant is Robert the doll continues to taunt and scare those who come to view him, especially guests to the museum who attempt to take photos.
Yep.
He didn't take my phone.
I just looked at photos on my computer.
Don't.
Oh no.
Guys, I'm scared.
This is it. This is the end.
What do you mean this is the end?
These are the final moments. These are the final moments.
I'm like kind of scared. I won't even lie to y'all.
I am scared too. I need to clear my cache or cat, however you say that word.
Like I'm pretty much a wimp to like scary stuff, but this is like
This is genuinely scary. Like I'm never a wimp. This is scary, actually.
yeah, and Sage is someone who watches way more horror movies than me.
So many horror movies, and they're never scary. This is I fear for everyone that is watching this right now.
Sorry. Wait, you said you looked at photos of him like doing what?
I just looked up photos of the doll that people have taken of him in the museum.
Mm-mm. Nope. Mm-mm.
I need to throw my computer away. This is not good.
But again, he taunts people who take photos of him, and many have reported their cameras being inoperable when they try to take a picture of Robert, only to begin working when they leave the museum. But don't worry, guys. Robert sits inside a glass case, but it doesn't seem to stop him from inflicting fear and discomfort to museum staff and visitors.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Oh, here's another thing that will make y'all feel so happy inside. Staff members report that Robert's facial expression changes hearing demonic giggling and have even seen him put his hand up to the glass. Now that just sounds fake.
That sounds fake, but like
He's
all
gonna
of these stories about this doll,
Oh
it
my
could
God.
be real.
He's gonna be in your car. But to promote the museum, you can meet him at the East Martell Museum, and visitors are welcome to view Robert and his case, and of course, encouraged to try to attempt to get a photo. If nothing else, you can get a close look at Robert and watch him carefully. Try to catch a glimpse of him smirking at you, moving about in his case, or watching as you watch him.
I just gulped like really loud. I don't know if you could hear it, but
I
this
don't
is
even like
making
want to
me.
type in it. I don't even want to type it in anymore. Like I don't want to type in. I just looked at a picture of another doll and like my heart just dropped. It wasn't even Robert the doll. I just got scared.
Yeah.
But that's the end of the article. But I'm not inclined to go visit that museum. I can just look at pictures of it on my laptop.
Yeah, exactly. Wow.
I'm glad that broke you. It definitely broke me.
This is no, that definitely was my breaking point. Like that it can't get scarier than that on this podcast.
And like before you look at the doll, I mean before like if you knew like the history of the doll and if you look him up, like he's not like terrifying. Like it's like, yeah, it's a little creepy, but it's not like,
right.
too scary. It's just like an old kind of beat up doll, but after I don't want to look him up. I think they're making it up when he said he's giggling and stuff. Or
I think it's very likely that he was giggling because I mean I don't know, like think about like there are different levels of creepiness. Maybe he's like on a sliding scale, sometimes he's extremely creepy and he giggles and is like leaning on the glass. Maybe he's just creepy looking one day. Maybe he moves this day and then that's like the middle level, Yeah, that is genuinely terrifying.
I think I'm gonna end the segment right here on such a happy note.
Okay.
if you guys like listening to this one, we have a whole podcast, and you can listen to it Spotify, Apple Podcasts, other listening platforms, and we post about every Friday. And we haven't done dolls, so this is our first time, but we mainly just do true crime murder cases. So that was it for this
Yeah.
very creepy episode, and we'll see y'all next time. Bye.
Bye.